Hey guys, TheGamingSandwich here. So I'm going to do a profile of my new, new updated Snake-eye deck. So we're going to be running 2 Ash. 2 Ash is your standard normal. But obviously adds any level 1 fire. So 2 popular, add your Snake-eye spell and traps, even though we don't run any, but still, it's still nice to know. 1 Oak, special summons or adds from Banish or Grave. 1 Birch can special summon during your opponent's turn, and there's also an extender, which is still really good. 1 Flamberg, obviously keystone of the deck. You need to run this at 1. You can't not. Just the special summon of 2 is just absolutely insane, and the placement of monster chief spell and trap cards is kind of good, and doing it to your opponent is also extra good. 1 Snake-Eye's Dear Star. This is actually much more of a needed card than anything else at the moment because of how it works. So yeah, because obviously it's Snake-Eyes, but also has the Dear Bellstar name, so you kind of need that a lot more now. 2 Temple. To place any Snake-Eyes from deck or grave is absolutely disgusting. You can do that quite quickly. Put your populars in rotation. Having them as your inherent, you're not paying cost because popular then places itself is really, really, really nice. 1 Snake-Eyes Chase, because again, it's because they mentioned Dear Bellstar. Obviously, if anyone you know, you've got more targets now, and 1 copy of Bonfire because you're playing Pyro, so you may as well play Bonfire. So that is the Dear Bellstar engine. So we're looking 1, 2, 3. Sorry, the Snake Eyes engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards for your tail of your Snake Eyes engine. So we've gone to now for your Sinful spoils. So 3 wanted again. Yeah, very standard 3 wanted. Such as Dear Bellstars. It does actually, remember, people keep forgetting this, does actually add from grave as well. So, just to kind of if you do have all 3 of them, occasionally it does happen, not all the time, you can add from grave. So, True Deception. To get your Azamina names in rotation, a second one is kind of useful. 1 Silver. Silver just being an insane Omni Negate is really nice. Its second piece of interaction during your opponent's turn, you can banish this, except the turn it's sent. You can banish this and then negate when it activates in response to a Dear Bellstar or Sinful Spoils. As there's a lot more kind of interactions and those side of things, it really does help. So that's good. So for the fusion parts, we're running 1 Debtors, 1 Hallowed. We had to make some cuts somewhere, unfortunately. So second Azamina Hallowed is the card that had to go. I'm a bit upset about it, but obviously we had to kind of make concessions somewhere along the line. 1 Filia Dear Bell, it adds a level 8 or higher, which I don't understand the level 8 or higher part, but hey ho. Dear Bellstar monster Dear Bell monster from your deck to your hand. So, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it, so they don't have to control as many as you do, or more. It's if they control, so that's really good. Being able to special summon it's really nice, and then if you banish, what is it? Dear Bell monsters you currently control gain 500. That could actually be nice because it means the regular Dear Bellstar then becomes a 3k beat stick. Again, really, really nice. And then we've got your 3 Dear Bellstar, the Black Witch. Being able to set your Simple Sports cards is insane. We then have 1 Dear Bellstar, Revengeance. I believe it's Revengeance. Or Vengeance, sorry. Never mind, my pronunciation is bad. I remember this is upside down for me. But yeah, the ability to beam this out. So you don't have to do it also with its own effect. Remember this. So it is a fiend, so it is different to obviously all your Dear Bellstar types. So with this, you can banish 1 spell or trap to special summon itself from the hand or graveyard. Again, extremely good recurrence. You can special summon it with Filia. You can special summon it with Snake Eyes Chase. You can special summon it with Flamberg. There's a lot of ways to keep getting this card out. You don't just have to use the regular way. So obviously you have multiple ways of it actually being able to really do it a lot. Also, as it is also treated as a Sinful spoil, so obviously it is also targets for this as well. So again, really useful. It's effective to pay half your life if you have another Dire Bell monster. So obviously this counts, and Snake Eyes Dear Bellstar to. So what is it? You pay half. You target card. You destroy it. If you then have another one of these, you then can summon a monster from the extra deck, which is again insanely useful. So really, really good card. 1 Queen Azamina. I still like it. It's another target to add off Deception. So if you kind of like are running out of targets, you can shuffle this back in to add this to hand, and then you can do other things. Again, it's useful. So that's the other one. Being able to just special summon itself as like 3 bodies for fusion is insane. And then we're running 1 Dire Blaze the White Witch. Sorry. The reason we're running this is because of the effect which says it can send a Sinful Spores or Dire Bell card from your deck to the graveyard. We're using this to mainly sense Silver, as Silver then becomes we can have a free card where we can do things, activate Sinful Spores and stuff, and my opponent doesn't have a window to activate response, because we can just do this. Or if they do, we just banish and negate anyway, so it's just really, really good. Plus, it's a free extender, so... But unlike Dear Bellstar, it is restricted to the White Witch. The White Forest line, as it is technically a White Forest card, so it has to be a spell trap. So you can do Popular or any Snake monster if it's treated as a continuous spell card. So that's fine. So we are running... So we're running 16 here. I'm sorry, I counted through the thing, and that I do apologise. Right, so I'm going to say support cards now, because I don't feel like you should just go through hand traps. I just feel like support cards should be a thing now. So we're doing... Still running the free Perulia. I still feel like it's the better one, as it plays into, I'd say, a more variety of matchups, not just a meta matchup. I just for me, this kind of was more of an issue for Mitsurugi as a one, because obviously they do, to play around Ash Blossom, they'll spec from hand. So in that way, just go with that. That's the way I see it. It's like, well, if they're going to special from hand, if a ritual, you are better doing this, because any Mitsurugi player will not ritual from deck because they know this card does it, which is Ash Blossom. So they're not going to ritual some from deck because Ash Blossom, so you're better. So if you have both these, these are very nice for a Mitsurugi matchup. I'm going to go through like monsters and spells and traps, so obviously these things are not going to always be in the great order. So we'll go with 2 Thrust and 1 Talents. Thrust is really good because it can get like your Silver, your Sinful Spoils, your Dear Bell, your Filia Dear Bell. It's really good for helping with those really nice situational cards that you can need. 1 Cold Bite. Again, these 2 are one-offs, so in the old format we used to say staples, so I can't see a reason why you wouldn't know this unless you're running insane stun. 3 Imperm. I'm not going to go over it too much, it's Imperm. And then the 1 Silhouette Trick, as the majority of the extra deck cards we have are illusions. So, and then we've got a few monsters in the main which are illusions. So again, it's just, you can make the link too easy. You can get this, just negate a bunch of cards. And also it's a body that can't be destroyed by battle, which again is really, really useful. So this is altogether a solid 41. I couldn't go any lower, just for clogging purposes. So yeah. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with the loveliness that is. I'm going to actually straight slide deck in a minute, which is kind of funny. So we've got your Snake-Eye's Fusion in Snake-Eye's Doom Dragon. Again, being it. So with the removal of the Azamina of the White Forest, we now can't inherently make this with a fusion summon, but that doesn't matter. Like, being able to contact fuse summon it with continuous spells is insanely easy with this deck anyway. I think I only made it about maybe in tournaments, maybe twice out of how many matches I summoned in games. So yeah, just it doesn't matter, we don't need it. One of this guy, just because again, he's a recurable send card to the graveyard. So that's again spell and trap removal in a monster, so it's a send. That hits Blue Eyes, which is going good, so yeah, really nice play. 1 silver. Now we've gone down to 1 just because we space constraints. Each Omni Negate, it gives all your other Azaminas double battle damage, which is insane. It's such a great card, always good to use. Moose, I'm just going to go Moo. Just the effect to add a Sinful Spores or Azamina. I believe it's Azamina card that adds as well. Yeah. So what's it? It lowers the attack, remember, for all Azamina monsters you control, which can get quite nasty after a lot. If this card fusion, add 1 Sinful Spores or Azamina. So yeah, you can add an Azamina card, which is fine. Also, I forgot with this one, during the standby, so either player standby phase, you can add a Sinful Spores or Azamina card from your grave to your hand, which is insanely good as well. Good, that recursion. Another good one of this is if it's destroyed as well in the same turn, you can add another Sinful spores from deck to hand. So you can add one, then add one. Both effects are once per turn, so it is funny if this kind of gets destroyed sometimes. One Moa. Moa now is absolutely disgusting. The ability to revive a illusion can get very, very nasty because of combo purposes. The ability of obviously when a Azamina monster activates its effect to kind of like just destroy two on your opponent's board gets really dumb after a while. So yeah, you can also beam this out for free with Saint Azamina. Saint Azamina in some of the most recent days has been one of the most disgusting cards. Some decks just can't deal with it not being able to target, not they take any battle damage. You can't target itself, so it's like, oh yeah, cool, you can't imperm it. It just gets really annoying. So yeah, very, very good card. And also now, because we have that, we have Azamina itself. The ability, so you will never actually fusion summon this. You will contact fuse it by using Saint Azamina and any monster your opponent controls. A very disgusting way to kind of outboards is really, really horrible. The ability itself, being a 4K, is nothing to sniff at. Can't be destroyed by card effects, which is okay, but the ability to lower every monster your opponent controls by 500 for every activation of a card or effect your opponent has is absolutely sick. And monsters with 0 attack can't activate their effects. So if you get this out, like they can't Ash Blossom you, it just gets really, really dumb. So we'll go after this. We're going to go for Synchros. We'll go with Poplar of the White Forest. You can actually hard make this with a Snake Eyes and an Ash Blossom, so it isn't without the realms of possibility. If you have, bad hands, you can go into this. So, you can normal summon Ash Blossom. Have like, Elder Thingy of the White Forest special that not normal Ash, Spec Birch go into this. You can then have plays. Again, it's not an ideal line, but it's a line. So its ability to quick synchro is insane. Snake Eyes Revengeance Dragon, just absolutely sickening. Being able to put things in the spell and trap card zone, and then during the battle phase, being able to destroy one continuous spell card and then pop a card your opponent controls is absolutely dumb. It should not really be allowed, but hey ho. One Relinquished Anima because obviously we're running level 1s. One Heater. Because we're in fires. Still running the 2 SP because again it's just spot removal. One Select Right because we saw the Select trick earlier. The last card in the next trick is the Promethean. We do not now have room for the Amber Whale, so it's kind of like this is kind of like your end piece to get rid of unless you have a Deception to kind of get rid of this. So there is ways to kind of get around it. It's just a bit harder. So again, that's your fusion extra decky thing. Right, so we'll go with this. So we've decided I'm gonna have to do this in a bit of a weird way. So for starters, for siding, we've gone with Kurikawa because it is a fire monster. So that's kind of good. So I feel like it deals with boards. And a lot of the time we had people kind of going, oh yeah, it's not that great, and then so I realised you can still add it off Ash and you can still psych in it with Popular. Free Floros. Again, with some new matches, it's just a nice card to side in, so yeah, I've decided to go with that. Because Malice is getting a bit more of an upgrade, we decided with Freelancier. So I've kind of gone... I didn't want D-Barrier because I can still reuse this with Flamberg. There's still options to reuse this, so that's the idea with that. We've gone with 2 Deer Blaze because forcing your opponent to set is kind of annoying. Again, it's a Flea of Dale Bell can still add this to hand. Not add this to hand, sorry, but there are applications because it still works in the same kind of way. So you've got if it's Sinful Poison Grave, you can special summon it. It just has weird synergies with some stuff. So with Dispel Star Vengeance, if this is on field, you can still get its second effect off because this is on field, which is again another really useful card. So for Board Breakers, we've gone with 2 Lightning Storm, and then we've gone with Subversion Snake-eye because, again, during game 2, if you're going second, Popular can add this. You can set this to your Bellstar. you can activate it, you can chain debtors to send it to the grave. There's many lines with that card, and then free evenly, which I feel is kind of fine for how it is. Yeah, I'm really happy with the deck. The deck's performing really well at the moment. I'm still discovering some of the weirder combo lines with this deck because of how it works, but overall I think the deck is really nice. It's really solid. I believe it's a good tier 1.5 contender just because of the Azamina stuff. Some people are just not ready for how Azamina works, especially being able to, like, rip a card, get the fusion out, then rip opponent's field apart. It feels a lot nastier than it used to. So yeah, hopefully you guys like it. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. And look, I have a pen to turn this lovely thing